Good morning, class, or afternoon, wherever you're at. Hello, 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 everybody. I forgot to put my hat on. Oh, well. There we go.
There you go. Da,
Put the hat
da,
on.
da, da, da.
Yeah, I'm not sure whose hat. This is mine or Shelly's, but it was one of us from when we graduated.
This is what all the graduations look like right now.
Yeah, they do. Honestly, that's true. They do, don't they? They all. Well, funny thing, I actually have an ROTC commissioning ceremony I'm going to on Friday
That's
on
cool.
Zoom. On Zoom,
Oh,
I'm
cool.
going to give you the kids first salute. So be a virtual salute, I guess. It was weird because he was asking me to do it and he kept calling me sir all the time, and I was like, okay, look, you and I have got to change our habits. Number one, I have to start calling you sir, and you have to stop calling me sir. He's like,
Yeah, for sure.
well, what do I call you? I'm like, I don't know. Let's try chief.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. As the cuckoo clock goes off, the light bulb went off in his head. But he's actually going to be he's going to be a member of the United States Space Force. So
there you go. That's pretty cool.
He'll be a space cadet. We got 9 people already in the room. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. We are going to be talking thumbnails today, and we have the dean of the graphics department with us over here, Professor Dustin. He's going to be going all in on not just the mechanics of a thumbnail. We're going to probably make some thumbnails. And tomorrow morning on Daydream About Nice Things, he's actually going to talk about Canva in detail. Cool. So those of you who are looking at Canva, he's going to take a deep dive into Canva tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. So, Professor Wags.
Yes, sir.
My thumbnails stink, and I'm not saying that as a hypothetical thing. I'm saying that as a real deal thing. I actually started playing with them today. But what can we do, or what should I be doing to make my thumbnails look good? Or what is a good thumbnail? I guess is a better question.
Well, there's a ton of different things, and I'll say that what everyone should do is trial and error, because what works on one channel may not work on another channel. But there is some aesthetics and some logistics that you have to get right no matter what your niche is or what kind of thumbnail you're making. So we can talk a little bit about that. But I will say the first key is that your thumbnail is relevant to what is in the video. You can't have a thumbnail of a dog and then talk about pickup trucks.
Yeah, and actually, you say that, I kind of got bit on that one time because I have it's actually my most popular video. It's an update to my RV internet solution, and it's a picture of me and Talon sitting on the couch, and she's just looking at me. But we're both in the picture, and it's big letters on the thumbnail itself talking about an update video is visible, the RV internet solution or whatever I put on there. Yeah. And I had a couple of people comment, I thought this was a video about dogs. So even though I had words on the thumbnail that said, internet for RVs, the fact there was a dog on there threw people off.
Well, and I think that, in the grand scheme of things too, I think, we've gotten that a lot with people who comment on our channel thinking that we were a dog channel because of the name of our channel is Wayward Wags. So we've got, people like, hey, where's your dog? We don't have a dog. Well, why is your name Wayward Wags? Because our last name is Wagoner.
Well, change your last name because that's confusing.
And when I was in the military, everybody called me Wag. All my friends still call me Wag. And so, Leslie married in, so she's a Wag now too. So, and we wanted the catchy thing, to both W's, and Wayward was a cool, like, traveling, wandering type name. And so we just landed on the Wayward Wags. But we do get people every once in a while go, where's your dogs? We don't have dogs. We have Scout, the bearded dragon.
Parking last night.
Yeah.
All right. So so you make a video about whatever. What's your? When do you start thinking about making the thumbnail? Are you wait? Is the video done? Then your video's done, edited. Then do you go into trying to figure out what the thumbnail is going to be, or is it a flow, kind of a overflow of process? How do you do it?
It depends. If I have a good idea for a video, I'll start brainstorming on thumbnails as soon as I have the idea. And then especially once I get on site and start filming on location, I'm always thinking about which shot could potentially be a thumbnail. And we don't, we don't, well, I don't say we don't. We rarely take a specific still photograph just for a thumbnail. Generally, we will find a place in our editing software in the video and screenshot that, and that becomes our thumbnail. So a lot of that comes from what YouTube suggests, unless I just have something in my mind that's just I think is going to be a really great thumbnail that I know I'm going to use no matter what. I will always let my video fully upload first before I make my final decision on my thumbnail, because YouTube suggests 3 thumbnails for you. Now, all it is a background or a spot in your video that they think is going to draw the most attention to the viewer. It's not going to have any text or any kind of graphics or anything like that on it. But we have several times, because YouTube suggests that point in the video, because normally it's either something really cool or it's us smiling or laughing or having a good time. So we will take that suggestion. I'll find that spot in my editing software and I will screenshot that, and then I will go into my thumbnail software and then I will put in the text and the graphics, and that just becomes the thumbnail.
That's cool. Yeah, and you see the comment below from Woe Nelly RV Ventures. By the way, I haven't seen you guys in a long time, so it's nice to see you guys back.
Yeah.
I'm discovering showing faces are important for thumbnails. Is showing a face important?
Well, I think YouTube likes faces. They like expression, they like emotion, because people get attached to emotions. They want to feel what you're feeling, or they want to know why you're feeling what you're feeling. So I'll give you an example. Um, like I said, YouTube will suggest 3, and it's usually faces, honestly. And if YouTube's suggesting it, there's a reason why, because that's what they like to see. And usually it's either a smiling face, or sometimes it's a distraught face that you can use. Either way, it's showing some emotion, and it's getting the viewer to go, why are they smiling? Why are they laughing? Or why are they upset? I need to click on this thumbnail to find out why they are feeling the way they're feeling.
Yeah. And excuse me, I had somebody at the front door. But yeah, and actually, Jerry and I were in a class earlier today, and they were talking a little bit about thumbnails. And the biggest thing they were talking about was, having faces, expressive faces as well. And and think about this, and this isn't just for this is for everybody. When you're looking on YouTube for something, generally speaking, the thumbnail will catch your eye before the title.
Yeah, absolutely.
And don't know who that was, but they'll leave a message if it's important. So what's catching your eye? I mean, think about it from yourself. What catches your eye when you're doing a YouTube, when you're looking for, for a video, what catches your eye? And then think about it. Well, why did that thumbnail catch my eye over this other one? Is it the colors? Is it, a face, or is it the expression on the face, or whatever? And because of, then that right there will tell you what's working and what's not working from a thumbnail perspective. And honestly, if you're looking at a list and your thumbnail's in that list and you're not really drawn to it, you definitely know you need to do something with your thumbnail.
And we upload our videos. We're always a couple weeks ahead. So even when I upload a thumbnail, I got a little time to change my mind if I want to. I've had thumbnails that are set to post on videos, and it just didn't feel like it was the best that it could be. And so it gives me time to brainstorm too. So I have a couple of weeks to think about it. And
All right,
sometimes,
I'm gonna have to take this call, Dustin. Can you take over?
yeah, sure. So I have in the past gone back and changed that thumbnail before it posted. Now I don't know if that thumbnail that I would have posted would have done better than the one that I actually posted, but at least I felt better about it. It looked like a more clickable thumbnail to me. So that's just my process. Now I will say that there are things you can do with color schemes, and what we like to do is we like to use the same color schemes, the same fonts, the same sizes generally of fonts. Sometimes we will put our logo on there, and our logo is the same color scheme as the fonts that we use, so it's in line with the same scheme. Now I will say that no matter what your scheme is, you need to have font that you're going to be able to read. You don't want, so I'm talking about contrast. You don't want your words to get lost in the background. So if you have, let's say you have an outdoor scene and part of that scene up top is just the sky. So you don't want lettering the same color of that sky or even similar to that sky, because if you have white lettering on a light blue sky, the part that's over like the trees you'll be able to read, but the part that's over the sky you might not be able to read that well. It's not going to catch anyone's eye. So if I have something that's the same white lettering but outlined in red and it's got a black glow behind it, there's no way that that's going to get lost, and so they're going to click on my thumbnail versus your thumbnail just because it catches their eye. They can read it. If they have a hard time reading, people are lazy. If they have a hard
Yeah.
time reading your stuff, they're not going to work hard at it. They're going to go, oh, I can't read that. I'm out. I'm going to go check out this other one.
Yeah, I'm pulling up something right now. Hopefully.
Now, I'll talk a little bit about branding too. Some channels will use, and I would say use the same format as long as once you find one that starts working, keep using that format. I'm talking about like text color, text size, text, font and stuff like that. Some people have like a whole just to make sure that their wording doesn't get lost. And that's a good idea too. If you have enough room in your thumbnail to put the bar off to one side to make sure if you got the blue or black bar, red bar, whatever color, and then the white lettering, and then your logo. And some people have that in every one of their videos. And then on the other side of the photo is either them smiling or something relevant to whatever they're talking about. So that works too. And I've seen that successful on some very successful channels.
Yeah, the biggest thing you want, in my mind, a couple of quick notes in the corner is where YouTube puts the time count for your video. So make
Yeah.
sure whatever text or image or drawing or whatever you put is not in that lower right hand corner as you're facing the drawing, because that clock's going to cover up the drawing. I mean, cover up whatever you put there. So you don't want that. And number two, you don't want your thumbnails to look like anybody else's.
Yeah.
Because
And
you
that
want
was
yours to stand out. So and that's kind of the quandary you can get in using some of the free template services that are out there for like making thumbnails. Because if your thumbnail looks like like a bunch of other people's thumbnails, the only difference is maybe the color, but everything else is the same, then people aren't going to really recognize you versus them. They're going to think
yeah.
that both of those are either you or the other person, or so make sure you're not using stock or templated thumbnails. Make it, but for you, once you figure out what works for you, have a template. Make a template for it. That way you can just overlay that template on your image, change
Yeah.
the text to match whatever the video is, and you're done.
Yeah.
That makes it quick and easy. And I'm sure that's how you do it, right, Dustin?
Yeah, and I do have a template, and I use PowerPoint to make thumbnails, and it's really easy. I go into I use Wondershare, by Filmora for editing software. And, I'll generally find something that looks like a great image, and I'll find that spot in my editing software, probably one of the ones that YouTube suggested. I'll screenshot that and I'll paste it onto a PowerPoint presentation. And then I will put I have a template set up for our lettering, our size, our color, our font, all that. I will put that and I'll strategically place the text to not cover anybody's face and to not get covered up by the timestamp. And then I will save that PowerPoint presentation as a JPEG on an individual file per slide. So if you only have one slide open, you just save that JPEG or save that PowerPoint presentation as a JPEG file instead of a PowerPoint file, instead of a PPT. And then it turns into just a picture, which you can upload as a custom thumbnail on YouTube.
Which probably doesn't take very long.
It's super fast. It takes me like 10 minutes or less to make a thumbnail. Yeah. That's if I'm really just worrying about aesthetics.
Right. And I'm going to show you guys, like I said, I've used TubeBuddy. I'm still working on how I want them to look, so I'm still not happy with them. But I'm just going to, if you have TubeBuddy, it's free. I'm just going to show you how you can make a thumbnail really quick and easy on TubeBuddy. So I'm going to get out of this real quick just so you can see. So I just went into the, I just clicked on the video details of a video, then go down to thumbnails, and you can see here's what Dustin's talking about. Here's the 3 images that that YouTube suggested. There's my current thumbnail, but I'm going to click on create thumbnail, and I can click on, I can either pick a solid color, an image, or an existing thumbnail, or I can still frame from a video. So I'm going to do a still frame from a video, and I already know what I want is somewhere towards the end of the video, and I'm just going to pick a spot in general. And then once I get where I want to be, there. And then I just click continue, and I'm going to show you how easy this is. Now I've already set up a template, and I'm just going to click on the template itself and see, boom. Now all I got to do is change the text to whatever I want it to be, and I can move it around however I want it, and then I'm done. That is just how easy it is to do a thumbnail with TubeBuddy. And I'm going to get rid of the template itself.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have the template, you just click on text, creates a text box like drone, and I can change the font here. It gives me a lot of options for font. Go Creepster. Change the font size. Color palette, any color you want. Here you can do a black outline or a white outline. Go ahead and click add layer. As I sneeze, I do not have the Rona, so I'm just sneezing. And I can actually make this whiter or just bigger altogether. And here's where you can kind of see too what Dustin was talking about, how some of the letters might be a little drowned out because of the background. And that's where I can do, and you can see how the outline, either one, the black or the white outline, really brings out the lettering, makes it easier to read.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I just click continue. The nice thing about TubeBuddy here is I click continue here, and it's doing a search. And see, now I'm seeing different videos that are similar in topic and what they're using for their thumbnail.
Pretty cool.
So now I can see that, and this actually may give me an idea. You know what? Maybe I need to change my thumbnail to this or that because, well, my video has 117 views. This one has 1,400 views. This one has 8,500 views. So 26,000 views. There's the goal right there. I need the 26,000 view one. But hey, I'm still below this guy too. So 159. And then once I'm done, I just click save and publish, and I'm done. And cool. It is just that easy to do a thumbnail in TubeBuddy. Now, if you have vidIQ, same process. You just click on vidIQ, you pick a spot in the video, or you can do a solid color or upload an image. And I'm just going to pick that just for fun. And it works the same way. It's it's got a little bit less features than TubeBuddy,
Yeah.
but it works the same way. So vidIQ or TubeBuddy, very easy, online, and you can remove that. So they're both very easy. PowerPoint is honestly about the same thing as what I just showed you, because I've done stuff in
it's just in
PowerPoint
a
too.
separate window. I mean, it's all the same features.
Yeah, except the nice thing about PowerPoint is you do have access to a better font selection than you do on either one of those.
Even though we use the same one pretty much over and over again, and then you can add stuff in PowerPoint, like other graphics, clip art, emojis, whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah, but again, the key is consistency. Once you find, and you're not going to find one that works by changing your thumbnails every day.
No, you have to get consistent for a little while, and it takes a while to know if it's working or not. That's the unfortunate thing about YouTube is, by the time you find out it's not working, that's been several weeks of a learning curve until you find something that does work. And you might have to go through 2, 3, or 4 of those learning curves. So it might feel like 8, 10, 12 weeks before you're finding something to work, which can get pretty frustrating.
Yeah. So I was unable to follow chat very well, but I did just notice this question from John. Is it better to use a JPEG or a PNG file format, or does it matter? For a thumbnail, I don't think it matters, but I could be wrong.
It doesn't matter for a thumbnail. If you're looking at saving a graphic that you don't want to have a background, so when we did our logo, I saved my logo as a PNG so it wouldn't have the background. So then I can paste that PNG on top of my JPEG thumbnail, and it doesn't have the square around it, the white square.
Yeah, I've done the same way. You definitely need to have your logo as a PNG file, and the area around your logo is deleted, or transparent.
And so let me give you a good tool for that. I want to find the link.
Okay. No, you can't import, not that I know of anyway, Drew, you cannot import fonts into TubeBuddy or vidIQ.
So here's a good tool. I'm putting the link in there. It's called Pixlr. I don't know if you've heard of that or not. But so Pixlr is, so if you have a JPEG of your logo, you can upload that to Pixlr. And I would just watch a YouTube video, and it's really easy. There's a couple, I mean, I'm telling you, like 10 clicks or less, you can remove the background of your logo and save it as a PNG, so you don't have that white box around your stuff. And you can do that with any image.
Yep, you can. And if you're looking for an inexpensive, fairly easy to use program to edit images, so we're not talking about thumbnails. You can use it for thumbnails, but it's a lot harder. Paint.net is a great image or a great program to edit and create graphics, and you can also delete, make PNG files and get rid of backgrounds with Paint.net as well. And when I say low cost, it's free. So
yeah, Pixlr is totally free.
Yeah, so I'm all about the free stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't think if anybody has a question, put question in all caps and then write your question down so it pops out more so I can see it. So Shelly went outside. We got a guy here giving us an estimate on some stuff, so she's not watching the chat. So if you put question mark in all caps, that would be helpful to me to catch it. So we've talked about a few different ways to make a thumbnail. We've talked about some of the things that are important having a thumbnail. And really the class that Jerry and I went to earlier today, everything we said here and what they said, and the class we went to was from Think Media. and those guys are pretty smart when it comes to YouTube marketing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what they said they found out was it was actually the image was more important than whatever words, if any, you put on your thumbnail. And to try to get your image, whatever your thumbnail is, to bring, to show some sort of action or to draw attention. That's why you always see and they're actually calling it YouTube faces. Faces like the people are putting up on their thumbnails. They're calling their YouTube faces, and they even said it's dorky, it's stupid, but it works. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. And so I will tell you that, like, the motion thing, it catches people's attention. Our most watched video is a thumbnail of me sitting there with my hands over my face like this, and Leslie looking at me, and we're talking about our Branson experience when we got flooded. And so with me looking like, stressed, and with her looking at me, uh, with like a blank stare, and then the thumbnail, the text saying full-time RV disaster. I mean, the combination of the word disaster, which I put in a different font, like the chiller font, and then the emotion of me covering my face, the emotion of her responding to me covering my face, all of that just really caught people's attention, because you have emotion in the text and in the picture. The other thing is, what they probably talked about in the class too. I wasn't there, but is the resolution of your photo. So you want a high resolution photo. Now you can specifically take the a picture for a thumbnail specifically, like you can pose for it, just take a still image and do that on a high resolution. But if you're using a pretty high resolution camera to film or a phone to film, then when you go into your editing software, it's still going to be in pretty high resolution. So when you take a screenshot of that, you're still in high resolution. But if you're talking about something very specific, if you're talking about a recipe, or if you're talking about a piece of equipment, or you're doing a review, you want a close-up of that. You want high resolution so that people can see the detail of the photo, because that's what's really going to catch their eye.
yeah, Ryan Becky says that they get a lot of compliments on our thumbnails. I'm too afraid to change them now. Honestly, never be afraid to change.
Yeah.
For number one, and number two is, how can I say this gently? I probably can't. A lot of people say a lot of things, and I'm not saying anything specifically about you guys in your thumbnails. And I assume this is probably Roy. He's usually awake by now. I'm not saying anything specifically about your thumbnails, but a lot of people most people will tend to say that this things look really great versus giving you real constructive criticism, even when you ask for it. So if you don't think the video is performing as well as it could be or should be, it could be the thumbnail, it could be, a lot of other things. So don't be afraid to change any of that stuff. But like we said, just don't change it on a daily basis. You got to make a change and wait. And it may or may not even, the change may be good, but you may not see the results on it because the video is too old, or a million other factors.
Yeah. And people are nice. People want to say nice things about your channel, about your thumbnails, about everything. Data is more reliable than people's opinion. So go look at your analytics, go look at your click-through rates, go look at your watch time versus your other more successful videos. And really, it doesn't matter whether it doesn't really matter if everybody's telling you that it's great. Not everybody, but if you have that, because you're going to have a loyal following. Everybody's going to have a loyal following. You're going to have people that watch your stuff no matter what you put out. They're going to watch every minute of it, no matter what you say on your channel. And all of those people are going to be very positive, and they're going to say, your content is great, your thumbnails are great, I love all your stuff. And so those people love it, because like we were talking about on Jerry's channel last night, there is a something for everybody, and someone's going to love it no matter what. But if your data is not showing that it's a successful video, then that's really just your loyal following kind of stroking your ego. So what you want to get is you want to get some unbiased opinions. You want to get some people who are going to critique your channel,
And my screen just froze.
and then give you some really honest feedback. Maybe we lost Michael, but that's okay. I can. There he comes. Did you hear any of that, Michael? Are you muted?
I can't hear anybody, so hopefully you can hear me.
I can hear you. It was doing this last night on Jerry's channel with Drew. It was not allowing Drew to hear us, or wasn't allowing Drew to hear Jerry, but he could hear everybody else. Hey, and now it's the WAG show. All right. So I'm going to continue on because it's just what I do. So the next thing that I want to talk about is having your thumbnail be something catchy. Now, when I say catchy, I don't mean clickbaity. So you want something that's going to catch people's attention, but it has to be relevant to what you're going to be talking about in your video. But it can't be way crazy. Like, I mean, I've seen videos where people talk about their thumbnail will say something very, very dramatic, and then when you get into the video, it's like it's not even what they're talking about. So what I mean by catchy is, so let me give you an example. One of our thumbnails was me and Leslie standing there. I think it was in New Orleans. We had like the Superdome behind us, and so we're standing there laughing. And the thumbnail said, "If we don't laugh, we'll cry." And then so people were like, "Well, why would they laugh, or why would they cry, or why are they feeling these emotions?" You have to give them, like, they have to feel like, I need to click on this. I need to click on this because I need to know why they're feeling this way, or potentially feeling this way, or what's making them want to laugh, or what's making them want to cry. So, and then we made the title different. So we got the catchy little thing with us laughing in the background, and the title just says RV living in the Big Easy, and in the parentheses it says New Orleans, Louisiana. Now that is a little bit of a different tactic than we talk about for thumbnails. That's a title tactic, because, well, you want something different on your thumbnail than you want on your title, because it gives you two opportunities to catch someone's attention. So if you don't catch their attention on the thumbnail, you have another opportunity to catch it in the title. But if my title said, "If we don't laugh, we'll cry," then people go, "Well, I don't even know if I don't know." But then we're talking about, if I don't laugh, then I'll cry. And then it kind of tells you where we're at, what we're doing. And then we maximized the usage of the title also, because we put RV living, because that's our niche. And so we use that a lot in our titles, either RV living or full-time RV living, or full-time travels, stuff like that, that's in our niche, in our title, which will also incorporate the location. So it says RV living in the Big Easy. Now we could have just said RV living in New Orleans, but we put RV living in the Big Easy, which is the nickname for New Orleans, and then we put New Orleans in the parentheses. Now, when you put parentheses in your title, it catches people's eye. They don't see it all the time. It's normally just a bunch of words. But if you put that, they're like, okay. And then it also gives you two opportunities in your title to capture more searches. So people are searching the Big Easy, or if they're searching New Orleans, or if they're searching RV living. That's all those opportunities to catch people. You put that stuff in your tags also, and then it gets all into vidIQ and starts scoring you on triple keyword scores and all that stuff. So you want all that stuff in multiple places. And so it just gives you a ton more opportunities to catch people's attention and catch people's eyes. So definitely maximize that. Another thing besides the parentheses that you can use is quotations. Anything that's a little bit different in a title or in a thumbnail, and you can use this in the text of your thumbnail too. Quotations or parentheses, but the quotations really work too, pretty good. So I'll give you an example of that. We had a thumbnail when we were in, I think we were in Baton Rouge, and we were at the state capitol, and we found one of those box cars. So the box cars were a gift from France, and they gave one box car to each one of the 50 states after the World War as a gift for what we did for France. And so a lot of them had disappeared, but we found one in Alabama when we were traveling up into Huntsville. And then we thought we would never see one again, but there was one in Baton Rouge. And we found that. And so in our thumbnail, it's me and Leslie standing in front of the boxcar smiling. And if you don't know what the boxcar is, you wouldn't even know what it is. It's in the background, but then it just says, we found another one. That's it. And so people were like, found another what? They look happy about finding whatever it is they found. I need to click on it to find out what they found another one of. It makes people want to do that. And then so in the title, we put, RV living in Baton Rouge and something else. So one of the examples that I'll give of the quotations is Michael coming back. Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, what
All
happened?
right.
Did I miss anything?
It's been the WAG show, man.
It has been. My computer locked up completely. I need a tech guy to come and fix my computer. So apologies. Luckily I had a co-host, so thanks, Dustin. So did I miss anything?
Still a little laggy.
Am I?
Yeah, well,
my computer.
I was talking about usage of thumbnails and titles and stuff.
Okay. So we're talking about thumbnails. Okay, cool. Yeah, and again, I
still
ever
a little
since I
laggy,
dropped,
but
I didn't hear what
it might be
you
my
said. So.
internet. I'm not sure.
Let me see here. Just looking to see if any questions.
I'm buffering.
Am I buffering?
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the comments at all, so I apologize for that.
No worries. So Roy says, never rely on a thumbnail to decide whether or not I'm going to watch. Oh, okay. The thumbnail may be horrible, but the video could be great. Yeah, that's true. Let's see when Pause and Effects replied to that. Usually it's the other way around. Great thumb and poor content or clickbait. Yeah, you got to be, you got to be careful. Let's see if we can bring him back here. There we go. Well, you're not quite back yet, Dustin.
Are you there?
I guess this live stream isn't big enough for both of us. There you go. You're lagging though pretty bad.
Yeah, it's probably my internet.
Yeah, I can hear you good, but the video is laggy. Yeah, and
it comes and goes, man.
Yeah, and really to answer that the question about that, because I think MJ said that they look at titles and not thumbnails first. Everybody's different. That's why you got to have the whole package. Yeah. But even for those who are looking at the titles, I can almost promise you that the thumbnails are playing a part at a minimum subconsciously, because the bright colors or the bold images or whatever there is attracting you, to some degree, is attracting your eyes, because you're subconsciously, your eyes will be drawn to it anyway. So that's really, you got to have a good thumbnail. You got to have a good catchy title. But at the end of the day, it all rolls back to, you still have to have good, what's that C word? Come on, class. What's the C word you got to have a good YouTube channel? Content. That's right. I struggle with making any intentional face for thumbnails. I have heard that it works, but just don't feel genuine. Yeah, and I guess that's you, Bradley, on here. And I don't know when you jumped in, but Jerry from Happy Place Diaries and I were in a class earlier today over at Think Media, and they were talking about thumbnails. And one thing they said is the biggest thing right now is the YouTube face, or whatever kind of overly expressive face that seems to be the thing now and works on YouTube. They don't like it, and that's what they said. They said we don't like it, but that's what's working now. So we kind of don't have a choice, but you may not like it, but if you want to get the maximum views and watch on your videos, you got to go with what's popular right now. So because your content doesn't matter if nobody clicks on the link to see your content. The content is what's going to keep them there, but you got to get them there first. So it's a step-by-step process. So you could have the best content in the world, but if you have a crappy title and a crappy thumbnail, nobody's going to click on it. So nobody's going to know just how great that content actually is. And I don't do the intentional faces, even though I know, and I knew before this class we took today, I know that's because you just do a YouTube search for anything. And, there's those overly expressive faces out there. So I know that's the thing, and I know they work. I just copy something. I copy a clip out of my video, and that's what my thumbnails are.
I'll say this though, do what you're comfortable with. I mean, there are things that we know that will work for growing your channel that we don't do because we just don't like doing them. And if it causes us to not grow as fast, then I'm okay with that. So if I don't feel comfortable doing a YouTube face, then I'm not gonna do it. And but if you are, then cool. Or if that's your intent, then do that. And it's just like call to action. Call to action is, it's statistically proven. It will help your channel grow. If you ask people to subscribe and to share and to click the like and all that stuff that people do in the beginning and into their videos, the call to action, that works. It works because some people just don't remember to do it. So when you say, hey, don't forget to subscribe, people be like, okay, I'll subscribe. But we don't do it because we're not comfortable with it. So we just don't. And so just do what you're comfortable with to grow, as fast as you want to.
Yeah, and that's really the key to all this. And we say it all the time, but I don't think we can ever say it enough. Is you can have your 1,000 subscriber, 4,000 watch hour channel within a couple of months. It just depends on your content and what you're doing to grow that channel. So it's whatever you're comfortable with. So there is no right way. There is no wrong way. There's your way. There are ways that work better than others, but if you don't feel comfortable with doing that, don't do it. And
we also know we could grow a lot faster if we put more work into it, or if we put 2 or 3 videos out a week, or if we work a little harder on our transitions and our B-roll. But we just don't want it to be a full-time job. So we put in what we're comfortable putting in, and we grow at the pace that we're comfortable growing at.
Right. And I know people that, YouTube is their job. They're retired or they have a lot of time on their hands otherwise. So they put all their time, they put tons of, 10, 12, 13 hours a day on YouTube. Nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine.
Now, what you cannot do is you cannot put in hobby time hours and expect full-time results.
Right. That should be on a t-shirt, actually. That's good. That's good. And comment down here, YouTube faces do not have to be over drama or compromising. That's true. Oh, geez. I just caught that. I don't know what led to that, Sue, but alrighty then.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's almost a class dismiss kind of thing right there. Yeah, I stopped doing the asks, the call to action stuff too. I'll do it once in a while in the videos. You'll probably see it on some videos that we come out with because I uploaded them like a month ago and hadn't made them public yet. And I'm not gonna go back and change the video and re-upload it just for that, because again, this is my hobby. I'm doing it for fun. I'm hoping to raise money to support veterans charities.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I did the cost of benefit analysis. You know, if I spend $100 worth of my time on YouTube, am I going to get $100 back?
No.
No. So I'm better off taking that $100, just give it to the charity.
Yeah.
And spend what time I feel comfortable with on YouTube. And no, you did not get expelled, Sue, but you're going to be on double secret probation here real soon if you don't watch it.
Yeah.
If nobody knows what double secret probation is, Google it and then go watch the movie, because it's hilarious. It's one of the greatest movies ever made. But yeah, so do what you feel comfortable doing when it comes to thumbnails. Again, best practices, proven practices are the YouTube face. You don't feel comfortable doing that, don't do that. The other big thing is, the big thing no matter what, is you got to be consistent. That way, because it's your brand, you want to be consistent with your brand. So in other words, so if your logo is pink, but all the wording on your thumbnails is orange, you do not have a consistent brand.
Yeah.
The color scheme doesn't flow. You know, our colors are teal and white on our logo, so we use teal and white in our lettering. And it flows. Wayward Wags is red, white, and blue on their logo. It's red, white, and blue in their on their fonts. So it gives you that branding, that consistent image that you want for people to know. Because even if they're watching some of your stuff and they like some of your stuff, and they're searching for something else, and then they see a video that might be yours because of the branding of it, they'll immediately go to that thumbnail, even if it's like 5 on the list versus number 1 or 2, because your eyes are, it's just subconscious. Your eyes will just go to it. Yeah. So there's your consistent theming that you need. And that's across all social media platforms.
Yeah.
If you want to be YouTube only, that's cool. But if you want to grow, you got to get into Facebook. You got to get into Instagram. You got to get into Pinterest. Have a MySpace page. I don't even know if they still exist.
Website.
Yeah. Website's key, and they all should be named the same thing. That's the hardest part about coming up with the name that we had, was we were trying to find a name we could use consistently across all the platforms. Except Twitter. I kind of gave up on Twitter.
Not a fan of Twitter. We use it every once in a while, but I mean, we have Twitter. You know, it's part of the nature of the beast, but we just really don't. It's not our go-to platform.
Yeah, and then TikTok will help you grow. I've heard people say that.
We're not on TikTok yet.
Yeah, we are not on TikTok either. Matter of fact, in the class that Jerry and I were in today, somebody said they have a few thousand followers on TikTok, but they only have like a few hundred on YouTube. And so they're trying to figure out a way to bring their TikTok people to YouTube.
So another tip that I got for you, Michael, is so when you put together a thumbnail for a video, put together a couple of different thumbnails. And it doesn't take long to make a thumbnail. Put together a couple of different thumbnails. And then if you have like a Facebook or an Instagram, which you should, instead of making one thumbnail and posting on your Facebook page and go, hey, do you all like this? They're all going to go, yeah, it's awesome. It's great.
Yep.
Make a couple of them, post them both together, and go, which one do you like the best? And kind of get a poll for what they, because that way you're going to get one way or the other, instead of posting one and everybody goes, yeah, I love it. And then you post the video, and then video gets terrible results. Yeah,
and the nice thing too about that is you're now engaging your audience. You're engaging your fan base, so to speak.
Yeah, and then when they see the video post, they feel like they had a part in selecting what the thumbnail was going to be to your video.
Yeah. And again, I'm just going to assume it's Bradley. How, you know, unless you're going to be active on those platforms, it doesn't make sense to have them. That's true. The worst thing you can do is, if you're trying to grow, is to have a Facebook page. You're trying to grow your YouTube channel, but you have a Facebook page that is, the last post was from 2017, or your website hasn't been updated in 2 years either. You got to keep them updated. And there's tons of free tools out there that when you upload a video, you can cross post that to tons of different social media platforms. One thing we're bad about is our website is getting behind. We kind of let our website, kind of dry on the vine a little bit, but we got to get back to it, because what we were doing is we were doing blog posts to go along with some of the videos, not all of our videos, but some of the videos. And we just hadn't done a blog post with a video for a while. And that's actually where we got a lot of views from. It's just something we stopped doing because we got busy.
That's a lot of work.
It is. But it was good for us because we got a lot of views from it, especially because Facebook is a great marketing tool if you're in the groups that allow you to post YouTube videos. There's one Facebook group I'm in. I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically for newbies, RV newbies. And so everybody's asking questions. Well, the easiest way to answer a question, well, how do I dump my black tank? Well, what's the easiest way to do that? A YouTube video, right? You can't post anybody's videos.
Wow.
I did that once. It wasn't even my video I posted. It was somebody else's video, and they kicked me out of the group. I mean, no warning, no explanation. I just went back. I'd actually saw somebody had commented on the video, so when I clicked on it, it showed me that I was kicked out of the group. So when I reapplied, I messaged the admin. I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And they told me they reiterated their policy. I'm like, "Well, how are you supposed to help people? I can send them a link to a 5-minute video, or I can, what am I supposed to do? Write a novel on how to dump a black tank?"
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to help people, but most of the Facebook groups I'm in aren't like that. You can post stuff, and you post links to your videos, and that helps you. That's another avenue to help you grow.
Yeah. So another thing that you can do there is, if you join the Facebook groups as your channel name.
Yes.
Not as your personal Facebook name, because that way when you post, they're going to see Wayward Wags or Our Epic RV Adventure, and they're going to go, "Oh, who's this?" And then they're going to look for you somewhere else other than just your Facebook name. Then they'll go, "Who's this random dude?"
Yeah, and that helps you get around the ones who won't let you post links to videos. You can just post on there, and then since you joined it as your channel name, they see your logo, and they see your name as Wayward Wags or whatever. They'll go check. They might go check you out if you give good information.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Don't spam.
I post in Drew's, but I don't get any results. It's like there's nobody in that group that pays attention to anything. But I don't know. But we, in the few minutes we have left, does anybody? I'm sure we've missed some questions, and I apologize for that, especially with my technical difficulties here. But if anybody did have a question, quickly just type the word question in all caps, and then put your question after it. Or if you have a request for future topics in class, just put the word topic in all caps, and then put that in. And again, as always, you can email me at ourepic.rvadventure@gmail.com with questions, and also with ideas for the show. I'm actually working on a couple right now. And Dustin, I'll talk to you a little bit once we close up here. There's a couple of channels out there, and when you go to their channel page, they have the home and they have an about. They don't have the video tab or the community tab, and they don't know why that is. And I haven't had a chance to figure it out either, so I don't know if you.
Yeah, I'll have to look at an example of one
Yeah,
then.
I will. We'll talk about it offline. MJ, why
No,
would you want that? Why?
please.
Why would you want that? I mean, I'm now probably not going to eat for the rest of the year after just reading that comment. I've lost my appetite for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I seen your sister said that she was unable to put her channel name as her name in a Facebook group. If you have to create your Facebook page as a business page instead of a personal page, and then there are certain groups that will not allow you to be your page name. You have to be an individual. So only some of the groups will allow you to that
Yeah,
option.
yeah, yeah. So first of all, you got to have a page, not a personal page, but a page for your business, like Dustin said. And this is answering Happy Place Camping as well. And then when you click on joining a group that allows pages to join, you'll get a little box that pops up, and it'll have your personal page or your YouTube page, to put it for lack of a better term, as options. And you just pick which one you want to join.
Yeah.
But not all groups do that. So
yeah, if it doesn't give you the option, then it doesn't allow you to come in as your business Facebook page name.
Yeah.
But there are a ton of groups that do. So, I mean.
Yeah, and I think we just answered that same question we just answered. Yeah, there's always a glitch in Facebook, but you get what you pay for.
Yeah. And so, and here's the other part of that is what I've found is the ones that you have gone into as your personal page, you can't switch it.
No.
Once you're in, you can't switch it. You have to get out of the group and come back to get the option to change it. So if you're going to do that, if they do allow it, just kind of give the admin a heads up. Say, hey, look, I still want to be in the group, but I want to be in as my business page. I'm going to go out. I'm going to come back in. Just look for me to pop back in as Wayward Wags.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And before you do that, look to see if there's any other business pages in that group.
I mean, yeah, if there's not, they probably don't allow it.
Right. I mean, for most groups, you'll either see it when you go to the page, or you can always click on the members and just take a real quick look down the members and see if you see something that's not a person's name. And if you don't, odds are then they don't allow you to join. So we are at 5:58. Traveling down the banisters is coming up next. What is this? You had to make a new Facebook business account with your name as your YouTube channel. Yeah. And it's a page, not a group. If you create a group, I know a lot of people create groups, or they create a personal page. A personal page you can join, because the personal page, it looks at it like a person, but you want it to be a business page. So when you're logged into Facebook, just go up and you can create a page. Hey, maybe that's a topic for another class.
Right.
Yeah. Other social media platforms. We can do that for sure. All right. Well, I'm going to drop the link to Traveling Down the Banisters and right there, and so we can go raid them, show them some love. I'm not sure where they're at in the country at this point in time, but again, always, Professor Wags, thank you so much for being part of Tech Talk University.
Yeah, it's always fun, man.
We'll talk. We'll talk a little bit. Maybe we'll just talk about other social media platforms next week. We'll see what the crowd wants. Again, what do the peoples want? You got to do what the peoples want. So we'll see what the peoples want. Cool. So thanks everybody for coming. Go over and see Traveling Down the Banisters. Y'all have a great rest of your night, and we'll hope to see you Friday for our live stream. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody has a live stream this week too, don't they, Dustin?
Tomorrow night we'll be on at 7 Eastern time. Yeah.
7 Eastern. And that's going to be cool. There's going to be some surprises, I think.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff coming up for tomorrow night.
Yep.
We only go live once a month, so we usually have some pretty cool stuff stored up.
Yep. And they do. And I'm looking forward to it. So thanks, everybody. And again, go see Traveling Down Ambassadors. Bye. And we hope to see y'all down the road.
Appreciate it.